If you're using Wix and you're looking to do a redirect after your user signs up or after your user logs in, then I think I found the solution on how to do so. What you're looking at is the custom sign up box that Wix provides. I just decorated it how I wanted to, but I was also able to put in here these radio buttons. Now, for purposes of what I did this box for and the people that I did it for, I added these radio buttons. These radio buttons designate the type of users that signed up through their Wix members area, and they're also able to record these selections once it's made. So say for instance, if the user that arrives at this site chooses the player button and then they go through, fill out this form, they submit everything. By the time that they submit that, verify their email address, and they're capable of logging in, this will have been recorded down in the contacts that Wix provides. However, you can also record that data in another separate database that you yourself designate. So, on another instance, let's say for this particular, where it says cadre, I created a collection called QR codes. So everybody that signs up to this gets a QR code. And in the QR code database, I made fields to represent, I made a purpose field to collect each of these of the user that selects them. So once the user selects players and submits everything, it gets recorded to the QR code database under one of these names. This code is on the custom sign up form lightbox itself, and you'll see everything that's up there. And the navigation part happens after the radio button selection. So once I get down here to where I have the radio buttons, it should say, okay, here I am where the radio buttons are. And depending on the case, you see I have cadre there. Those are all the names that I showed you up here. And depending on the selection that they chose, by the time they submit that, it's going to direct them to whatever page I told them to do that to. But I use those radio buttons to do that. So the code for the radio buttons has to be on the page that's holding, or the light box rather, that's holding the custom sign up. And the code for those radio buttons, let me see my radio button array. It starts here. That's all the relevant code. And then you'll see the case. Hope I didn't go too far for you. So that will let you do that from the sign up. Now, what about the login? This is my custom login box that Wix provides after you install the Wix members app. Now, I have the sign up there that'll take me back to that box that I just showed you guys before, or I can attempt to log in here. So if my users chose one of those boxes that I showed you on the previous page, I can reflect that choice within the code here, and it'll check for it. So by the time that they click this login, it'll direct them to the page that I designate based on what they chose back at the other box. And this is the custom login light box, and this is the code that's on that light box. And you'll see down here, I'll highlight without moving anything around, hopefully. In this highlighted section, and then in this highlighted section, so you can get everything. In this, the beginning line I'm highlighting here, that's the name, the Q, you see that QR code database? That's where those selections went also. And it was able to get the member ID right here, which is the email address inside that QR code collection. And then down here is performing the actions. And you see that cadre selection? Now I could have added each one of those, and I could have had each one of those names represent a pricing plan. In this event, cadre represents a pricing plan that I added in the Wix members app, so that the user could have that as a pricing plan option to choose from. But the rest of them are not pricing plan options. They're simply designated user types that the creators of the site and me chose to establish at the time of sign up. So it does not have to be a pricing plan, but this, in this case, is a pricing plan. And then here, the Wix location .2, this is the name. I created a dynamic page for that sign up. So every time that person, a user signs up and they navigate to this page, it's going to create them a dynamic page based on the title here. And so the next time that they come to log in, when they put their email address here and their password and they click log in, this code that I just showed you guys, the most pertinent part, I'll go back to the top. It's going to run, and it's going to check to see if their name is down in the QR code database. It's going to see the name of that plan or the name of that selection that they made from that, and it's going to divert them or redirect them accordingly. And that's how I was able to get that. I hope it helps.